Now, I don't want to be a prisoner in the moment, but I have to ask this question because it got me to thinking because I was still off of a high from Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever versus the New York Liberty game yesterday. Was Caitlin Clark's first half the greatest first half in WNBA history? I don't want to be a prisoner in the moment, but it certainly felt that way. It certainly felt very special, very something that we have never really seen before. Maybe it's just the excitement level. Maybe it's just the timing of her coming back from her injury and playing against the top team in the WNBA. But it had me thinking, was this the greatest first half we've ever seen in WNBA history? It was very special what we witnessed. It was very special what Caitlin Clark was doing. And once again, it's been some crazy first halves in WNBA history. But it just got me to thinking, was this the greatest of all time? Was this the greatest I have seen? Was this the greatest that most people have seen? Now, for us, like we know that we had Diana Taurasi. She dropped, I think it was, what did Diana drop? I think she had 32 points and a half before. Lauren Jackson, 22 points and with the Mystics in 2004. Raquana Williams, who holds the record, had 35 points and a half. So it's been some great all-time first half performances. It's been phenomenal. It's been amazing. We've seen some dominating first halves in WNBA history, but this just feels a little bit different. And we know Aja Wilson as well. Aja Wilson, when she had 30, was it 32 against the Dream? I think it was 31 or 32 points against the Atlantic Dream 2 years ago. And then she went off and dropped 53 points that game, which is tied for the most career high in a single game in WNBA history. So definitely when we talk about this half for Caitlin Clark, I'm talking about the first half, not talking about the whole game. Most people probably would say Aja Wilson's 31 points because of the historic factor that she went off to tie the all-time single season scoring game in WNBA history. So most people are going to say Aja Wilson's. So I'm not mad at that. But I had to ask the question, is this the greatest half that we saw yesterday with the New York Liberty against the Indiana Fever? Because it was something it felt like it's something we never seen before with Caitlin Clark. And maybe because it was like she had the three-pointers that she was shooting, that she was making, that she was scoring from the distance. They were all logo threes, 26 points in that first half. And then she had 3 threes in 38 seconds. And it was just one of like the most impressive halves we've ever seen. And the timing of her coming off the injury, playing the New York Liberty, a team that hasn't lost a game all season, and then going off and doing what she did. Maybe it was the most exciting, maybe the best, maybe saying is Caitlin Clark's first half against the New York Liberty, maybe not saying the word best or the greatest, but it probably definitely was the most exciting for the WNBA, for fans, and just for people that would probably watch the game because it was electric. It was something we never seen before. So I just want to pose that question. And I also just want to react and go back and look at like what we witnessed, because it was really something unheard of.
It's the first time Kennedy Burke has missed a 3 in the last 3 games. She had made 7 in a row over her last 2. Nicely done to get it inside to Mitchell. Caitlin Clark, eyes always up. You see her there, tongue wagging. What a great look to see how she threads the needle.
And it's crazy because she's one of those players that is like LeBron James, that you have to ask the question, what is her best attribute? What is her best attribute? The scoring or the passing? Like, is LeBron's best attribute the athleticism or the IQ in the facilitating? Is Caitlin Clark's best attribute her playmaking or her shooting ability? So when we talk about one of the greatest first halves of all time, and I'm asking this question, is this the greatest first half of all time? It may not be the greatest because, once again, it's probably Aja Wilson. But for its excitement level, for its just what she did and versatility and the way she was scoring and shooting for 3, we have to ask that question. I'm sorry.
To Kelsey Mitchell. Mitchell's so dangerous because she can drain that 3-point shot, but you turn your head, forget, rim out. York up 4-2.
This is the ball right here.
Go
It's into her back.
1-0 for the first time in their history. Clark able to take.
And that's what we need to see more of when we're breaking down Caitlin Clark's game. We want to see Caitlin Clark not always settle when she gets the mismatch. Too many times when she gets the switch out the pick and roll, she gets a big on her. Too many times we'll see her dribble into that step back and take a long three. No, I like to see Caitlin Clark put the ball on the floor, get into her bag, get into the paint, and hit you with the floater. So that's how she was. She started off with the pass. She started off with the in-between game, get into her spots, hit him with the floater. Like, this was special. We've never seen the level of excitement that a half of a player coming off an injury. We've never seen this before. May not be the best half. And I know I asked that question. I keep talking about it. But it has to be asked. This was one of the most exciting first halves ever. That's why we had to react and we had to talk about it. We had to talk
about the bounce. One rebound more game than their opponents. Miss for Ionescu, and here comes Clark. This is one thing you get with Clark is great pace and great passes. Perfectly. This Clark last played for Indiana against New York, and now she takes it in off glass and has a chance for a three-point.
And she wasn't doing this yet last year. She wasn't finishing with contact. That's where that muscle, that's where working out in the off season, like she's putting on more muscle and she's taking and absorbing more contact and doesn't mind
Point play, bringing the ball down, looking inside. Aaliyah Boston not open. Look at that crossover, then the spin. Tough finish on a really good defender. Rebecca Gardner is long, can move her feet. Push off as well, and then finish. And Cunningham is down behind the play.
Crazy.
But they've got Caitlin Clark.
And she talking. Let's get back to it.
Push off as well, and then
Crazy.
finish. Cunningham is down behind the play. But they've got Caitlin Clark to fire away from three. Cunningham just now getting up as she stayed down near the free throw line on the other end. Two players with incredible.
Come back to it. Man. And the shots that she's making from deep, it's all net. It's not like it's hitting the backboard. The rim is shaking. It's just smooth. This is smooth.
Clark, another long three.
Crazy.
She's back. All 3 threes. And not only 9 and 30, but look at the depth on these field goal attempts. She's certainly feeling it. Left side, right side. Now come back to your favorite spot again. It doesn't matter if there's a hand in her face contesting. Look at that reaction. Her second career start, second in a row. Clark stays ready to shoot. Oh, Caitlin recognizes how open she is. Burke can't quite get there, drains the three. Clark directing traffic. And then steps back with the three over Brianna Stewart. Look at your players clearing out that side of the floor, shooting on Stewie, and then watch the reaction with one another. Stewie's laughing. Caitlin knows it's ridiculous. Now Caitlin going to drive around Stewart. Hole left open momentarily.
And look at the position when she has the ball.
And watch the reaction with one.
I want you just to watch all the eyes. One, two, three, four. All eyes on Caitlin Clark. This is when we talk about gravity. This is when we talk about the most dangerous basketball player on the court, when we talk about her impact. These are the things that most people do not notice. Every time she has the ball, even when she does not have the ball, the defense is locked in and sucked in on what she is doing because she's such a lethal playmaker and scorer. Still, she's looking at the read, coming off, getting to the bag. That was all Caitlin Clark. Crazy.
Such a beautiful offensive possession by the New York Liberty, and it's one of the reasons they've had so much success this year is the way they move the ball and share it. Clark trying to answer, and indeed she does.
I've seen Caitlin Clark take more mid-range shots this year than her entire rookie season last year. I love that how she's feeling more comfortable utilizing the second level of the basketball court, and that's going to be key coming to the playoffs.
Who's the first? This one. Caitlin Clark! Feeling the three. Sadly on the baseline, found by Ionescu. It was blocked by Boston. Clark looking for some options. Hull spots up for three and hits it. The Pacers until last.
So I just wanted to talk about, I just had to ask that question. I just had to go back and reenact the first half of that New York Liberty game because it's a strong contender for the greatest first half that we've ever seen. 4 threes, logo threes, 30 feet was her shot distance for the three-pointers that she was shooting. 9 points in 39 seconds. It was something electric. It was something incredible to watch and to witness in real time and very, very exciting. Something that we have never seen before. For it's just like coming off an injury, playing the top team, the best team, the defending champs who were undefeated at the time of this game, and coming off and showing like, yo, this is a reason why I should be in MVP talks. This is a reason why people are already deeming me as the baby goat of the league and the chosen one, and why people are saying that she can be the best player in the world on the WNBA side sooner rather than later. Like that first half was special. That first half was spectacular. That first half was something we have never seen before, which is why I had to ask that question. Is this the greatest first half we ever seen, chat? But quickly, it's a lot of stuff that's been happening. A lot of news has been going on. And Angel Reese got her first ever triple-double with 11 points, 13 rebounds, and 11 assists. And I know people have been talking about the Chicago Sky and the way they're utilizing Angel Reese and having her play more of this wing position. I don't necessarily like it, but if she's going to go and become a small ball 5 and a point forward in between her, I can see it working out in the long run. And sometimes development takes time. And we know that most people will say that she has to work on her layups, which she does, but she has to work on a lot of areas in her game. And why not use this year to help your career become what it can become for as allowing you to be impactful on a nightly basis without even scoring the basketball. And I say that, let's break this down. So, will Angel Reese become a Breanna Stewart type of player? No. Will she become a A'ja Wilson type of player? No, she would not. She needs to work on her layup package. She needs to continue to work on picking her spots in the post and just post moves overall. But does she have the potential to someday possibly average 16 to 20 points per game? That depends on how much she gets into the gym and works on her offensive moves and her layup package. But she may not even need to average 16 to 20 points ever in the WNBA, because you can be a superstar in a different role. You can be a superstar role player. You can be a player that is one of the best basketball players in the world for just doing your role really well and being elite at your role. And that's what I can see with Angel Reese. 11 points, 13 rebounds, 11 assists. I like her more so in this role, being the playmaker, being the one that is trying to initiate some offense and trying to learn how to initiate offense. And it's a trial and error. But I think this is the role that could be better suited for Angel Reese. Now, it's not what people are going to think for as a superstar. And when people talk about Caitlin Clark, Paige Beckers, when people talk about Breanna Stewart, Diana Taurasi, when they talk about all these great women in the game, they think of players that just average 20 points, that put up a lot of scoring numbers and have big scoring performances and outputs. But that's not always indicative to what only means a superstar is. The superstar cannot just only be a player that puts up a lot of points. A superstar can be a player that is a master in the role that they are in. It is a super, that's what I call them, superstar role players. There's plenty of superstar role players in the NBA and even in the WNBA that are very impactful on their teams and responsible for helping their teams win a championship. So once again, most people don't agree with how this guy is utilizing Angel Reese as a wing because most people feel that she needs to be in the post, working on her offensive game, working on her layups. And that is true. Could she become a 16 to 20 point performer in the WNBA? Sure, possibly, potentially. But that may not be the role for her that's going to master her craft. That may not be the role for her that's going to allow her to succeed in the WNBA. That may not be the role for her that's going to allow her to really put her entire footprint on the game. It could be a superstar role player role, a hustle player, a glass cleaner, a player that can affect the game on the defensive side of the basketball court. She can switch out on perimeter and guard smaller guards. She can guard in the post. She is capable of becoming a 1 through 5 versatile defender. She plays very hard. She plays very aggressive. You can't teach energy. Energy and hustle is a skill. Because if it wasn't, most people and most players would do it, but they don't. That's why we see TJ McConnell for the Indiana Pacers have a 4-year, $45 million deal. That's why we see Draymond Green have a 4-year, $100 million contract with the Golden State Warriors. So if Angel Reese can become this superstar role player, she's still going to be an all-star. She's still going to have endorsement deals. She's still going to be respected from her peers, from the media. She's still going to be impactful and be a force in this league. And I like what the Sky is doing with allowing this season just to be a wash and strictly development. And it takes time. Certain players take more time to develop. And you might as well, the best way to develop is develop on the court. So that's why we're seeing Angel Reese as a playmaker. If she can start utilizing and learn how to initiate offense more, then you have the screen assist, making her cutter off the ball, the DHOs into the PNRs, the curling off the post screens. Like these are areas these are areas where Angel Reese can master and become this small ball 5/point forward and be very, very impactful and be a superstar in this league. Because if you put her in the right situation and she's responsible, if you put her in the right situation and has all these different skill sets and tools, like it doesn't matter if she doesn't score 20 points. It doesn't matter if she's not a superstar in the same sense of what casual fans deem one only variation of a superstar can be, because she would still be very impactful and she would still be one of the best players in the league if she can master the Draymond Green role, if she can master the superstar role player role, if she can master being a hustle all-star. All those things will still get you paid, still get you merchandise, still get you talked about, and still make you one of the best players in the league. May not make you top 5 and may not even make you top 10, but it damn sure can make you a top 20 basketball player in the WNBA with what people think are the best 15 to 20 basketball players in the WNBA. She would definitely be that just by mastering the Draymond Green role for the next decade. So her getting her first triple-double, shout out to her. And I see some things that I like. Now, Desmond Bane got traded for 4 unprotected first-round picks. And Cole Anthony as well is going to the Memphis Grizzlies. And people are quick to talk about, well, Luka Doncic only won for 1 first overall pick, but also they got a top 10 basketball player in the world in Anthony Davis. So it's context to every situation. Now, was that deal really great for the Dallas Mavericks? They thought it was great because they got Anthony Davis coming back. But it's interesting to see that the Orlando Magic, and I know they need a shooter, and Desmond Bane is a borderline all-star. And this is good for teams that have borderline all-stars, because now if you're looking at Desmond Bane is a really good player, can shoot the ball, can defend, can also create off the dribble at times, and he's going to slide in and give the Orlando Magic that shooting that they need. They were one of the worst shooting teams, especially for catch and shoot 3-pointers in the league. And now they have one of the best catching three-point shooters on their roster. So they're looking at their roster construction and they're looking at areas of where they need to improve in. So Desmond Bane fits that. But if you're talking about 4 unprotected first-round picks, it got me to thinking, like, what the hell is Trae Young going to go for? What is LaMelo Ball going to go for? Because these are 2 players that have been linked to the Orlando Magic, because as great as the Desmond Bane trade, as great as the fit is for the Orlando Magic, they still need a point guard. They still need a facilitator. They still need a player that can create for others and themselves, because Desmond Bane can't do that. So you're thinking 4 first-round picks for Desmond Bane. What is LaMelo Ball going to go for? What is Trae Young going to go for? What is Ja Morant going to go for potentially? It's a lot of these guards and point guards that may be on the move. And now if you're looking and you're a GM and you're seeing what Desmond Bane just went for, who is a borderline all-star, it gets you to thinking. But also, if you have a borderline all-star on your roster, on your team, and people are watching the Indiana Pacers, what the Indiana Pacers have done in the Eastern Conference, and now people are starting to think, like, we're one guy away. We're 1 or 2 pieces away. So now what the market is going to do in the NBA, most people are now going to say, you know what? We need Austin Reeves. Let's give the Lakers 3 first-round draft picks. We need Jonathan Kuminga because he's the missing piece. Let's give the Golden State Warriors 2 or 3 draft picks. We need Lauri Markkanen. That we need Andrew Wiggins. We need players that are impactful, that can be missing pieces to a lot of teams. But a lot of teams are going to convince themselves that they're 1 piece or 2 piece away, and they're going to overpay for borderline all-star caliber players. And it's going to put them in probably a bad situation. And I think the Orlando Magic, as great as Desmond Bane is, I just don't think that was the move for us, the capital that they gave up. So that's what we're about to see. And even we got guys that were all-stars last year. If you're in the Miami Heat, this is the time to sell high on Tyler Hero. You have another opportunity to get rid of Tyler Hero. Came several years ago, but you passed it up. But this is a year that you can really sell high on Tyler Hero. If Desmond Bane went for unprotected first-round pick and Tyler Hero was an all-star, and then he's up for extension as well, you probably can get a player and some multiple picks back for Tyler Hero. So it's now we're about to see a lot of teams just kind of go crazy this offseason. That's why Shams was reporting that this offseason is about to be a lot of trades, very active. And as an NBA fan, as a basketball fan, it's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be crazy to watch. But hopefully all this stuff happens after the NBA Finals, because we don't need any momentum taken away from what's going on with the OKC Thunder and the Indiana Pacers, because it's been a very fun, electric finals. And we know the casual fans and people are talking about the ratings and the viewership. If you're talking about the ratings and viewership, you're not a real basketball fan, because it's been a great NBA Finals so far. But yeah, I just want to come and talk to y'all about that. I wanted to react about Caitlin Clark and ask that question. Is it the greatest first half we've seen? We reacted about that. Talked about Angel Reese's first triple-double, as well as Desmond Bane being traded. I want to get more consistency and give me y'all streams every day. That is the goal. And it's your boy, Ma K. Smith. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on AKISS NBA on all the social media platforms, talking NBA, WNBA, and all basketball, of course. Always remember this: faith without works is dead. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not onto your own understanding, and always acknowledge Him, and He will direct your path. Appreciate all my truth tellers in the chat. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there in the world, and all the mothers who are taking the place of some fathers. We appreciate y'all, and much love, man. I'm gone. Peace.